So we're about to jump on a live with Kathy Baldwin. Kathy is an amazing inspiration. When you think about someone who called it as it is and helps you to see what sometimes you're not seeing, but is holding you back and get that crap out of your way so that you can live into the absolute best version of yourself. Kathy, you're here with me. And I know, first of all, thank you so much for showing up because I know you're a little under the weather. You have a cold, like so many of us, struggling through, but you're showing up. And that's what we're talking about today. How do you show up as your authentic self, even though you may not be feeling like it? Just show
Yeah.
up as you are every single time. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you, Felicia. I'm so excited to be a part of this with you.
So, Kathy, I know you're part of the Productivity Powerhouse Summit Best Year Yet edition.
Yes.
And on that edition, you're talking to us about how do we understand the crap that may be in our life. It's an acronym. I'll have you share your acronym. But when we're in that discussion, you truly laid the foundation. And I think it's a foundation that we all need to understand, especially in this climate we're in right now, where there's so many things changing from natural disasters going around the world to different presidential trends for power. There's so much emotion and heaviness out here right now. When we're putting this event together, I know we talked about this. You said we have to be the light. We don't have a choice. We have to show up and make sure our voice is out there. We're sharing words of wisdom and joy to help folks understand they have the power. They can rise up, be rooted in their purpose, and go after their dreams. I'm excited you're going to be talking to us. Tell the audience a little bit about your topic at the Productivity Powerhouse Summit, which is going live. Could you believe tomorrow? We kick
I
it
know.
tomorrow, but it's still time for everyone to join us. You're going to get all the recordings sent directly to you. It's 100% virtual. So you get to be the boss of how you consume the information and taking all that great wisdom. So, Kathy, tell the audience about what you talk about and why now is the time for all of us to really sit up and take ownership.
Felicia, you were talking about current events that we are dealing with, but it's bigger than that. We have seen in the last 100 years that we've gone from horse and buggy to self-driving cars. We have gone from a localized community to a global community. And our society, our social structures, everything from our education, our financial, our medical, every part of our life and our systems was built on an unsustainable system of giving the power and control to the smallest minority, and the largest majority feeds that. It's unsustainable. We must be building on solid, strong foundations. Futurists are predicting that in the next 10 years, we're going to see the equivalent of
Wow.
the last 100 years of exponential change happening. There's going to be more millionaires and billionaires created in the next 10 years. But there's also going to be a huge number of people who are going to fall in the gap where the systems are not there. And so it's people like you and me and everyone who's a part of your summit who are stepping into their own zone of genius,
Mhm.
sharing their gifts, because every single one of us has a part of the puzzle. And if
Mhm.
any one of us is not living our dreams, our potential, our place in this world, we're creating gaps in the fabric that the world is looking for. Every single one of us is
Mhm.
important and we all matter. And there has never been a more important time in our history than each and every one of us stepping into our individual power and bringing our leadership to the world.
Oh my God, that's so brilliantly shared. And you're absolutely right. Historically, it's been building up on an unsustainable foundation. And the sad part is so many of us have been grabbing on and expecting that foundation to save us.
Yes.
We're seeing it crumble right underneath our feet. So now it's time for all of us to step up and say, what is the next thing I could do right now? Let's talk about some of the strategies we can help the audience right now. So if they're feeling like, okay, I see it, I see the shift. It's been happening, but now it's clearly visible, right? It's been in the back, but now it's showing
Oh,
itself,
we're
right?
feeling it
Ooh,
viscerally
you're
now.
you're feeling it. Yeah. So what is some steps we can take right now to start to empower ourselves? Where are the folks that are leading the charge, taking ownership, not dying with our dream in our hip pocket and saying, oh my God, I regret, I should have stepped up, I should have done this. What are some actions we can take right now?
Well, the most important thing you can do is know yourself. Know the forces in the environment that you are living within. Know how the education and language of your body and your soul works, because we have been taught to trust the external forces, trust someone else to provide us with our safety and security, trust other people to guide us with our money, with our vocations, with our gifts. Everything has been externally driven, and we were never taught what we actually have within us. Because, to be honest with you, this unsustainable system we're in
Mhm.
cannot exist if every person is living within their own empowerment. And so it has been in the system's best interest to keep that information from us. But when we know who we are, when we know the crap that's in our way, and crap is physical excrement. No, I do. It's about time that we address the facts, so that we call a spade a spade. Our bodies are physical bodies. We are at the expense of the biochemistry of our bodies, of our hormones, of our thoughts, our beliefs. We create inflammation and disease, and that is all within our system. And we have the ability to change and heal our own bodies. We have the ability to heal and change our DNA. We have the ability to craft our own world, but we haven't been told how.
Mhm.
We also live in a very powerful world that has these forces. But like driving a car, when we first learned to drive a car, we were given a manual that said these are the rules of the road. So you knew if you drove through a red light, you're taking a chance of being hit by oncoming traffic.
Mhm.
But we're not taught that in our own lives. And we're not taught all of the information that our gut, our soul, our connection to the world is trying to tell us. When we are out of alignment with all that, we get sick. And we are seeing record high mental health, physical health. We are seeing record number of relationships and marriages and families breaking apart. We are seeing so much destruction all around us. And we must come back to the true, authentic gifts that we have.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's up to us to really come back to those gifts and understand what is truly our values, what's important to us, and how are we showing up? How are we living that every single day? So when you think about the subject you're talking about at the Productivity Powerhouse Summit, tell the audience why they should come and listen in on your conversation, why this is one they don't want to miss.
It is so important that you can see your own self, hear your own self, connect to your intuition, connect to everything, because there's no way that we can be a leader at our best self if we are disconnected from our best self. Our conversation was all about guiding people to their highest, best gifts when we are all living within our gifts, our destiny, our purpose, living with peace and passion and prosperity. Then we are healing the hatred, the injustices, the wars, the discrimination, all of these things that are so disempowering, that take us away from what our humanness is calling us for. Our humanness is in our creativity, our innovation, our imagination, our empathy, our love, all of that. And when we are living from that place and collaborating and cooperating amongst each other, now we can create beauty.
Absolutely. I love how you just laid that foundation there. So if you're someone who is ready to make this and every single year your best year yet, because you're living it up into the best version of yourself, then this is an event you don't want to miss. We broke it up into pillars. So we're going to have folks talking to you about mindset and vision. And we know you can have the best strategy in the world, but if you don't have the mindset to follow through on that strategy, actually take you may not get the results you're looking for in your life, in your business, in your career. That's why we're spending time on that first pillar. And then the second pillar is what you were just talking about, leadership, really leading yourself and also taking strategic action. So it's now is not just, waving the flag and saying this, but it's how are you implementing the things you're talking about? If there's something on your heart, are you following through? Are you talking about this? Are you empowering others? Are you empowering yourself? Are you holding yourself accountable to take actions? Are you doing the things that's going to move you forward? Or are you waiting for someone else to solve the problem or to make the path? And that's what something you talk about a lot in your conversation is really the ownership. And you define crap. We're not going to do it here. So you got to come in the event and she'll give you the what that acronym means. This is one you don't want to miss because you're going to start to see it everywhere. And then you're going to start to see your own path. What do I need to do a little differently in order to get to the result I am going after? And day 3, we bring it all together. We all know we're trying to grow. This is the year of growth. We all want to grow in some way, some fashion. Sometimes we're going to fail, and failing is nothing's wrong with failing. That's just a way for us to see what is going to be the right path for us to take. So we'll talk a lot about that. How do you scale your business with ease and scale your career, but doing it with self-care? Doing it with what you're talking about, Kathy, really knowing yourself and understanding that your body's powerful. And a lot of time that negative emotion, that negative talk, all of that negativity is what's bringing a lot of the inflammation in your body that's creating some of the pain and the anxiety and the stuff that we're dealing with in our bodies, but you have the power with your self-care. So we spent some time on self-care. So I can't wait for this audience to hear all the great things you have to share, Kathy. And I know you brought an amazing resource, a free resource for the audience. So the gift just keeps giving. As they say, you brought a freaking amazing resource. So you definitely want to come join us and get all the wisdom from Kathy and 14 other experts as they share without holding back, because this is the year we all need to stand up and be heard.
Yeah, there's never been a more important time for each and every one of us to step into our zone of genius.
Step into your zone of genius. I think we're going to land the plane right there. And Kathy, thank you so much for coming on live and sharing your wisdom with us. And I hope you get better, rest your voice, go take care of yourself. We talked about self-care. Do your self-care, do whatever you need, because I know that you took a lot of your energy to come here and share with us. We appreciate you so much.
Oh, totally my pleasure. I want to be able to support you and your audience because this is really important work that you are doing here.